It is this Native Land Act that plunged millions of South Africans into poverty and deprivation, whose impact endures right to this day. Despite the terrible deed that was perpetrated against black South Africans here in the city of Cape Town, along the foothills of Table Mountain, there lies a potent symbol of hope, change, and progress. Just a few kilometers up the hill from our parliament is District 6. It is here that one of the most painful chapters in the history of this country took place nearly 60 years ago. In 1968, the apartheid regime began demolishing District 6 to make way for a whites-only suburb. More than 60,000 people were forcibly removed. Families were torn apart. An entire community and way of life was destroyed. Over the course of 2 decades, the apartheid government forcibly removed more than 3.5 million people in District 6, Sophiatown, Marabastad, Katomena, Kroonstad, Nelspruit, and many other places across the country. It was one of the largest mass removals of a people in modern history. There are some in this house today who have memories of their families being forcibly removed from their land. There are millions more across the country who still experience the after effects of this monstrous crime. The people of this country know the pain of forced removal. That is why we will never allow forced removals again in this country. And that is why we have a constitution that prohibits the arbitrary deprivation of property. That is why we have a constitution that requires just and equitable compensation to be paid in the event of expropriation for a public purpose in the public interest where applicable. Our experience of forced removals also explains the constitutional requirement that the state must take reasonable measures within its available resources to foster conditions in which it will enable citizens to gain access to land and to do so on an equitable basis. Today, District 6 rings with the sounds of families who have been returned and who are returning to the land that was taken from them. Yet, like the transformation of our society, the process of restitution is not complete. It is an ongoing process. There is still much that needs to be done to heal the divisions of the past. I reflect on this, honorable members, because it is part of our history, not only because issues of land and redress have featured prominently in this debate, but also because understanding this past that many would like to forget is vital to understanding the nation that we are working to build today. At this important moment in our country and in our world, we must ask ourselves what kind of nation we want to be. Surely we do not want a nation which is separated by race, language, income, and geography. We want a nation in which all people enjoy equal worth and equal opportunity. We want a nation in which the rule of law is protected and upheld. We want a dynamic and growing economy in which small businesses can emerge, grow, and expand. It is my firm and enduring belief that all of us as South Africans, as fellow citizens of this beautiful country, are bound together by our history and our present, and we want the same thing for all the people of this country. We have toiled long and hard to build a nation united in its diversity. We are firmly committed to the fundamental principle that South Africa belongs to all who live in it. We are firmly committed to a society that is non-racial and non-sexist. We want to live together in peace, harmony, and equality. We do want to see our country succeed and growing. We must not allow others to define us, but more importantly, to divide us. At a time like this, we need to stand united as a nation, particularly now when we are facing a harsh global wind. This is not the time for any of us to rush off to foreign lands to lay complaints about issues that we ourselves can solve here in this country. We need South African solutions for South African problems. While there are many diverse and different voices in our country, we must strive to convey a common message. We must say to our people and to the world that we are committed to work together to build a society in which all South Africans are free and equal, to build a nation that works for all. And together we should be better at being weavers. We should be better at being builders, to build a nation working along each other. That is what the program of the Government of National Unity is all about. And we will not be diverted from the path that we have set out. And I'd like to repeat, we will also not be bullied by anyone in the country or outside from our intent to work together. As a country, this is a moment of continuity and change, but it is also a moment of unity. Faced with the challenges that we now face even globally and continentally, this is the time when we must unite and speak as one and act as one as a nation. It is a moment of continuity because we are building on the substantial advances that have been made over 30 years of democracy. And we are taking forward the far-reaching reforms that we embarked on in the previous administration. While some speakers have sought to claim the progress that is being made and the reforms that are now being implemented as new developments and their own makings, we nevertheless welcome the fact that they also embrace these initiatives and are working to ensure that they succeed. Whether they claim to be the mothers or the fathers of this, we are working and moving forward. The structural reforms and changes initiated under Operation Vulindlela are well underway, led by the presidency, and are being executed through the intergovernmental cooperation together with National Treasury. We will move with even greater urgency and determination to ensure that these changes, these reforms, these advances forward are implemented. And working with our partners, they being labor, business, and community-based organizations, we are making considerable progress towards resolving challenges in our ports and rail, and in laying the ground for an energy-secure future.